projects. So I've done a few little projects that I'm going to be finalizing. One of them is going to be this cross. I had done it, I had made it a little bit ago. So what I'm going to do is it was a matte mold, so I've already covered it with UV resin. And actually it feels like it's still a little sticky, but we're going to go ahead and finish it. So I've drilled out some spots where I'm going to put some rhinestones. So we're going to do that today. And first, I need to figure out which ones I want. So I've got these, I think they're called like Fire or something like that. But they are, I guess they're AB type, but they're colored. So I need to figure out which one I like better. So just put in there. Which one I like better on the cross. So there's that one. So that's got a little bit of an orange pink look to it. Let's see what this one looks like. This is more of a blue pink. Maybe I'll drill that one out far enough. Okay. So far, I kind of like that one. They are not cooperating at all. Alright, so now then this one, real close to these, like almost the same. Actually, I think they are. Yeah, I think they are the same. So we'll just stick with these two. Of these two, I like the blue, but I think the, let's see, can you see those? I'm trying to let you guys see the shine. I honestly think that even though I like the blue color better, I think the others show up better. So I think we're going to go with those. Okay. Yep. So that is what we're going to do. And I'm going to try to use this super glue. There we go. Let's see how well this works. There's fuzzies everywhere. Okay, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I need to figure out. I might just put one, a larger. The only large ones I have, I think, are clear. So I might just do that. And I know most people use liquid fusion, but I'm using super glue. So. I do have liquid fusion. I just want to use super glue. I think for this situation, super glue is probably going to be the better. And the reason why I wanted to do this, not only because I think it's will accent the cross, but I had a couple bubbles in those areas. So I thought, well, I'll just camouflage them with some rhinestones. And that's why I think the super glue is going to be better. There's that. And these are like elevated at the top and lower at the bottom. That is not from the bubbles. That is actually the mold. So at first I was thinking that was bubbles, but that is actually just the mold design. So we are going to work with it. I think that's definitely helping. It's not going to be professional quality, but that's not what it's for. It's for hobby and enjoyment. So if someone wants to complain it's not professional, you are correct. That's nice and simple. Nice and simple. So let me go see if I can find some stones for that center. Okay, so I have quite a few here that we can look at. So first off, I don't think this is going to work, but we will look at it. I've got, this is a mix. I've got these larger, yeah, I'm not so sure I like that. Yeah, I think it's too red. Had a feeling it was going to be, but I thought I would try it. Okay, so one down. All right, and this one I'm pretty sure is not going to work either because I think it's just too much of a contrast, but it's just the white. Well, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. You want to see? A little yellow. Put that away. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. So let's hold that one out. Maybe. That's a maybe. And then I also have these purples. I don't know if there's any large. Maybe this might be large enough. Not quite large enough. It kind of gets lost in there, so I think we're going to pass on this one. It's very subtle, but I think it's lost. All right, and then we also have same idea, but with gray. And I think, again, this is probably going to be too small. Yeah, I'm not so sure I like that either. So far, it looks like it's going to be the white. And then we have these. So these are the ones I was thinking about doing. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Yep, I think it's the winner. Yep, we're going to go with that. For this one, since there's a hole down in there, I think I drilled way too much. I am actually going to use some Dollar Store E6000. Let me find get my toothpicks real quick. Okay, my toothpicks. Yeah, of course I had to touch it. Of course I had to touch it. Okay. All right. So there's that. All right, I'm going to put that back into the curing machine because or the UV because it's still a little sticky on the back. Go ahead and take care of that. All right. All right. So then, what are some of the other things I was going to do here? Clean up my mess. Okay, so the other thing I was wanting to do is this cross. It's a little pendant necklace or keychain. I think I'm going to make a keychain out of it. I want to do a keychain. So I have to figure out which. I think I'm going to do a jump ring. That'll work. Let's see. I like that butterfly. Well, it's already a cross. I don't need another cross pendant to go with it. Tree of Life might go good with it. That looks almost like a moth. I think that's the only... I do a fish, but it's too cliche. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I guess we're just going to go with... Yeah, we're just going to go with the butterfly. That'll work. Make it a very simplistic... Alright, so we got the cross, the jump ring. I guess I need another jump ring for that butterfly. Probably need a couple, so I'll just leave this out. I was also going to use one of these. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's see. We'll put a couple on that butterfly so it can hang down further. So start with the cross, the main attraction. That should be good. That doesn't look too. I just pulled that out of the package. That looks a little wonky. It's better. Okay. All right. So there's that. So we'll just do these. There's that. All right, now all right, so this one, I don't know if I need to put more of a tail on it or not, so it can hang, or I'll just put that right on there. That is not wanting to go together. Okay. Yep. So there's that. Kind of simplistic, but Alrighty, another little project out of my way. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so last project we're going to do, this is actually a project, it's not a cleanup, it's just a little fun project. I just wanted to do just a little keychain. So it looks like we've got some ice. I guess this is little boba bubbles. Some fruit. I've got a couple different options. So, and I also got these from Temu, these colored resins. So I've played around a little bit with the white. I've used the white a little bit and it was fine. So I'm going to, they don't seem to be really vivid, but they are Temu. So we're just going to play with them and enjoy. Take it for what it's worth. Temu. So we've got pink. Those are just really close there. Pink and red, magenta, fluo green. Looks like it's supposed to be fluorescent, maybe. Oh, I bet they're not open. Well, maybe they are. I guess we will figure out what they are. So it looks like maybe fluorescent green, fluo, and green. Got white and black, coffee, some purple and blue, orange, and yellow. All right, so we will. That looks like it's supposed to be kiwi, so we're just going to go ahead and start right with the kiwi. Yeah, so you can see that they're not really all that bright. And let's do red, do some strawberries. It's kind of bubbly. Okay, so I got them all out, and I think I was able to salvage the pieces that I was wanting to work on. But the mold, on the other hand, I can still use it for the fruit pieces, or most of the fruit pieces. But yeah, I've lost the wine glass, the martini glass, one of the slices. I can still be able to use the one of the umbrellas. So yeah, that was my fault. It was a cheap mold, and I should not have used the, looks like this has got some on it too. So the torch, should not have used the torch, at least not that close. I used it pretty close, and I shouldn't have. So yeah, so I ended up having to scrape them out. So I went ahead and put them back into the UV light to finish making sure that they are finally cured completely, and then we will work on them here in a minute. So I'll be back in just a minute. So we got them finished. Here's all the pieces, and as you can see, there's still some that have some mold pieces on them. So yeah, so again, I don't know what all I'm going to use, so I'm sure I made a lot more than I need. So, as you can see, I had to really scrape off that. So before we do anything, I'm going to see if I can fix all these scrapes. actually too deep. I made that too big. All right, so we will do some lemon. Let's do strawberry lime. How about that? Or how, strawberry kiwi? Yeah, like the lime. That's what we'll do. I don't know about. I don't know if I'm gonna put that on there because that's just gonna break off so fast. Unless I put something like that to where I can get both more stability on it. It still feels like it's just going to break off so fast. Let's see if I can put some glitter in it. Glitter. So we can use this. Bubblies. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I think we'll take these out. Use these. Yeah, I'll use some of those. I wonder if a lemon would look good in there. I do also have some little tiny bubbles. Don't know. Let's see if these look good in here too. I think that's good enough. All right, so the next, I think I'll put a couple more of these in here. Okay. All right, so I'm not making these liquid. I'm not putting liquid in them because they are just too fiddly or whatever you want to call them. Way too much. I'm gonna cut this out and I'll be right back. Okay, we are going to attempt to do this. Let me get this close to me. Got all kinds of stuff on my tray I need to clean off. Okay, so this is where this really comes in handy. Just want to make sure that nothing was sticking up. And of course, I'm not using those. I'm going to try to put those back in there. actually push this down. So it looks like I need a trim. Okay. I was afraid the top of it wasn't closing it, but it was. It is. So. The fruit should be darker, but hey, it'll work for now. There's that. Okay, so now this one. Before I fill it, should have done this with the last one. I'm going to mark this and cut it. After I mark these and cut these, I use the alcohol to take the marker back off. So let me cut this out and I'll be right back. Okay, I ended up having to cut this twice because the first time I cut it out, I messed it up. So anyway, this is how it comes right off. Fuzzies off of it. These are the Huggies Natural Care. They're not supposed to leave fuzzies, but I think they may have changed their formula because they sure are leaving fuzzies now. Okay. Right. So for these, for this one, since it is her wine glass, I'm going to give her some sparkly wine. I think that is probably too much. That's good. I'll just leave that. Leave it just like that. I'm going to shut this one off. This back up here. If I tried to add glycerin and stuff in these tiny little things, oh, I think I'm going to pull my hair out. I'm sure there's someone out there that is a master at it. I am not. I just as soon make them dry shakers than have myself so frustrated. I can do shakers, but I am nowhere near a master at it. I hope that's got something all around the edge. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so it looks like there's a piece there that did not get sealed. Alright, so then now the little martini. What am I going to do with martini? So for the martini, let's make this a lemon Europe martini. Or this. With that being such a tiny cup, these actually have stars in it. Huh. That'll work. Just leave that Just like that. So, I think I put some of these bubbles in there. Tiny glass bubbles. Where did they go? There they are. Just a couple. Oh shoot, and here I go again. We're going to and to make this easy on myself, let's do that. Look how easy that was. Oops. And this is just acetate I got on Amazon. I believe it's the wraps that they put around the cakes, but it's acetate, so it's real easy to get a hold of. All right, so let's do this. All right, just in time. I lift it up to the side like that because I want to make sure that I don't have anything in there that's sticking up. That's going to hold the acetate from sealing well. So I'm going to finish curing these, and then we'll come back and trim them and top them off and see if they're worth keeping. I got them all cleaned up for the most part. So now we're going to, oops. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is top them off. UV resin that kind of tipped off of that, so okay. There's some more. I guess that's why it was stuck to the tray. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it off. There is so many fuzzies in here today. I don't know what is going on, but lots of fuzzies today. Oops. Oh, it's right there. There we go. should have gotten the high viscosity resin out. Didn't even think about it. I think I'll finish this and go get that. That is a much better resin to dome with. Look at this high viscosity here. Alright, so high viscosity. So if you don't know, the difference is basically how thick it is. So the low viscosity is going to be runny. And then there's a low, there's a just UV resin, which is kind of like a medium. It's kind of the average. And then high viscosity is thick, kind of like honey, to be honest with you. Thick like a, I don't know, molasses or honey or something. And so I don't know if you can see the difference now between what I was using before and this. It's just, it doesn't run as fast. So it kind of will dome a lot easier. So yeah, like I said, these are just for fun. I may or may not give them away. I may just keep them. I don't know in the end how they're going to turn out. And I don't sell anything. The only time I have ever sold anything is when someone has come to me and asked me, they've seen like a tumbler or something I've made and said, hey, can you make something for me? I do not have a business. I do not advertise. I honestly do not want to have a business for making crafting, because to me this is my stress relief. So if somebody wants me to make something, I'm more than happy to do it because I enjoy doing this. But to have a business where I have to do something on a regular basis, I don't want to have anything to do with that, because then it takes away from my fun, my stress-free crafting. If I am having to fill orders, that adds stress to my life, and I have no desire to do all that. You see all these fuzzies? These wipes are not fuzz-free like they used to be. I used to get the Huggies Natural Care, the sensitivity, fragrance-free, and all that good stuff, because they didn't have the fuzzies. But I think they changed their formula, because they're putting a lot of fuzzies out here. I'm gonna go back to buying the cheap ones because they're cheaper, because these aren't really all that expensive. But why pay a little extra if I'm still getting the stinking fuzzies? All right. So, I'm gonna put another dome on this because this is the one I did with the low viscosity. The low viscosity. If you stay with me on my channel very long, you will find out that I am clumsy and I struggle with words. But it doesn't bother me. So if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. Just have to put up with my struggles. I need to make myself like a little shield that goes in front of there so I don't have to use my wipey box, wipey thing. Alright, let's do the back now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these. You see what I'm doing? So I'm going to go ahead and finish them, and I'll come back with some pictures. I'll be right back.